Hi everyone, I'm Erin Thompson of Everyday Expressions. Thanks so much for joining me in the craft room today. I am so excited to be here with you today and to share a fantastic new collaboration between two of my favorite companies, Sizzix and Catherine Pooler. We are introducing the brand new Stamp and Spin Tool from Sizzix. And this is a tool that coordinates with the previously released stencil and stamp tool. So I just wanted to share with you in the beginning of this video how I put this together. It is so easy. It takes only a couple of minutes and you are going to love this new tool. It will change your stamping for sure. It will make wreath building and repetitive backgrounds so easy. For my card today, it really helped me to mass produce several umbrellas and beach towels. And I think it just made the cutest little slimline card and put me in the mood for heading to the beach. Here I'm just introducing the previously released stencil and stamp tool. It is a platform that has a hinged lid that you can see right there, easily can be removed and then switched into the stamp and spin tool. And I had so much fun with this. It made it so easy to produce these cute little umbrellas and towels. So there you see, you just literally pull the stamping platform lid right off and then pop in the stamp and spin tool, and then you will rotate. It's got lines that radiate from the center, and if you had to line up stamps, it makes it so easy to do that. Or as I did, I put one in and then I just clicked it 2 notches clockwise to stamp the next stamp on my paper. So here I'm just going through all of the cute little stamps and dies for this collection from Catherine Pooler Designs. And I decided, as I said, to go with a cute little beach scene. I just envisioned a packed beach and all of these umbrellas and beach towels lined up as close to the surface they could get. And there's several techniques in this card, but I wanted to share first the stamp and spin tool and how easy it was to just keep producing this fun stamp. So I've already stamped the pink one. I don't know what happened. I think I accidentally deleted that part of the video, but I'm slowing it down and showing you in real time how easy it was to stamp the following umbrellas. So I stamped the first one in creamsicle, and then I move the stamp and spin tool 2 notches, and now I'm stamping in chiffon Catherine Pooler ink. And sometimes I did stamp twice just to make sure that I got the solid image and it was as clear and vibrant a stamp as I wanted. And now I think this was in the park. And then the next step is to line up the coordinating stamp. I just placed it on the fully inked part, lined it up, and then I could go ahead and move it 2 notches to the pink. And one quick note, I always condition my stamps when they're brand new with just my hand, or you could use a lint-free towel, a sand eraser, but I usually just use my hand and it works just fine. Now you'll see I'm just going to move through the 4 images and stamp with, I believe, party dress, and I think the next one is Tutti Frutti, and then limoncello, and I believe aquatini for the final green. How cute are these little umbrellas, and so easy with the stamp and spin tool. I have to say, I had a lot of fun using this. So just stamp those up, and then I move it 2 notches, and now green. And then I will remove the paper. There is, at the beginning of the video, I showed you, but I didn't say anything. There is a sticky grid mat that you peel the backing off. It's very easy. It's repositionable. You place it into the platform, and if you don't get it just right, you just pull it back up and move it again. I actually got mine upside down, which is not a big deal. The Sizzix was at the top, and so I just pulled it back up, repositioned it, and then you just smooth it down with your hand, and then remove the top paper. And you will want to keep the top and the back backings, and I just put them in the box so that if you ever have to remove it for some other reason, it will remain sticky and not gather any dirt or anything like that. So I highly recommend you keep those. Okay, so now I've got a new piece of paper. I've die cut the umbrellas. Look at that fun rainbow up at the top. And now I've placed the solid beach towel stamp. And I go through the exact same colors. I wanted it to be the same rainbow, all the girls coordinating their umbrellas and their beach towels at the beach. And so I went with the exact same colors for the beach towels, and you'll see this actually makes a really pretty little rainbow, and I can envision maybe a 6x6 card of these beach towels kind of going in the rainbow circle like that. How cute is that? Love that. And I believe the blue that I used is It's a Boy and Pixie Dust, I think, for the lavenders there. So now I've added in, lined up the striped stamp for the beach towels, and you'll see here I definitely go through and I stamp it twice because I really want that very vibrant color. And sometimes, as with all ink, after it dries it fades back just a little bit, so I wanted to ensure that I had a really vibrant stripe on there. There I've finished the purple one, and how cute. Then I use the coordinating dies from the framelits and run that through my die machine, cut all of those out. And just look at that. How cute. So now I've got a slimline die cut from a Catherine Pooler die, and I'm inking that up with Fiesta Blue, or I might have begun with Cummerbund, and then I moved to Fiesta Blue to brighten it up just a little bit. And I'm only doing it along the top of the card because I want it to look like the ocean kind of lapping up on the sand. And I really like how this background came out. So yes, I used Cummerbund first and softly blended some of that blue. Now I'm adding in Fiesta Blue. These are kind of my go-to ocean colors. Wrapping that kind of around the corners. And when I'm happy with that, you'll see I will, oh, and then I added in a little bit of all that jazz, just on the very kind of edges to make it look like it's getting a little bit darker in the ocean. So now, next you'll see, once I'm happy with this, I grab a water spritzer bottle and I kind of spritz water droplets towards the top. And then I decide I like the look so much, it's kind of moving and flowing, that I add a little bit more, and I really get that ink flowing. And I love this kind of happy accident. And so I let that water flow and move. I moved it with my heat tool just a little bit, and look how pretty that is. It definitely looks like the water kind of moving and lapping up. So then I dabbed it, and then you'll see I dry it one final time, because before we add embossing powder, you really want to make sure that those water droplets are dry. Then I just take the embossing ink and use the entire pad and move it around. I'm adding Brutus Monroe Sandcastle embossing powder. I had this in my drawer, and it actually, once you heat emboss it, it has a little bit of a sheen, but it's really pretty. Another tip I have here is take a dry paintbrush and finish those edges before you heat emboss the embossing powder, and make it look kind of like a jaggedy, sandy edge. Then you heat set it, and now I am taking Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, add some to a palette, and then water it down. You want it to be somewhat watery. And once you practice this a couple times, you'll kind of figure out what consistency you want. And then you'll also need a couple of fuzzy cotton balls. And I will say mine are kind of small, and I like the bigger, fluffier ones for this. You want to kind of, if it's a smaller one, pull it apart so you have a lot of those fibers and hairs kind of sticking out, and that will give you a little bit more of the spray kind of ocean effect that we're looking for. So add your bleed-proof white into your palette. Mix in some water. You want kind of a runny consistency. Then take your cotton ball and dab it there along the edge between your ink and your embossed area for your sand. And what that's going to do is give you the effect of like the foamy spray, kind of where the ocean waves lap up onto the sand. The embossing powder actually resists the pH martins, so it beads up just a little bit and you get that fantastic foamy effect. I love this. So don't be afraid to take it onto your embossed area and also then up into your inked area. You're going to love this effect. It is very cool. Now I decide that I need just a little bit more to sharpen the edge between the water and the sand. So I will take the paintbrush, load it up, and dab a little bit more of the bleed-proof white on there. I think here I'm cleaning up my fingernails because I got quite a bit of that ink on my nails. There you go. You see that. Now this is where I decide I need to add a little bit more in. If you need to add water, just make sure add some more water so that your ink, before it dries. And you can see how it's beading up there. It gives that really cool foamy spray effect. It's fantastic. And then once I have this done, I just dry it with the heat gun so that I don't get any smearing, and it takes just a couple seconds. The pH martins dries very quickly. And if you get a little bit where you don't want it, you can use a paper towel or your finger just to dab a little bit off. And here's where I'm drying it. And there you go. You have a really cute beach scene. So I just glued the towels and the umbrellas onto my card. And here I forgot. Usually when I have a slimline card or I have several things to glue down, I start in the middle. Here, now you see I've moved to the yellow. I find the middle of my card, and the middle, whatever images will be placed in the middle, and I usually glue those down, and then I move out from there. And the other thing I like about using glue for this card is that it doesn't stick to the paper right away because of the smooth embossing powder. And so it gives me some wiggle room that once I have all of the towels lined up, I have the ability to move them around so that they're kind of evenly spaced. Once it's kind of set and dry and they won't move anymore, then I trimmed off the edges following the back. And I like that these don't, I didn't want to make them perfectly set because each towel would be closer to the water. So that's why it's not like a perfect line. I wanted it to look like the kind of craziness and chaos of a very busy beach on a sunny day. And then once again, I glued the umbrellas down and trimmed those from the back. How cute is that? I love the pretty rainbow colors. I think those stamps just were so adorable. Then I figured out my sentiment, and here's another trick I have for you. I wanted to be 100% sure that I wanted to stamp it in a blue ink. And so a little trick that I have is that I take one of the cellophane wrappers from a stamp set and I lay that over my panel, ink up my stamp. There I've placed the cellophane, and then I ink up my stamp and use the platform to stamp it and make sure I like the sentiment right there. And yes, I loved it. I think that the ink color was perfect. I think I used suede shoes, and I stamped it a couple of times to make sure I really had a really bright, vibrant sentiment there at the top. I always forget that trick, and then when I do remember it, I'm always pleased that I do. So I'm just adding foam tape. I actually add glue to the foam tape so that I have a little bit of wiggle room in placing it exactly where I want on my background. I add a cute little die cut panel, and there we go. Our card is just about finished. What do you think? I can't wait until you try the new Stamp and Spin Tool from Sizzix and this adorable collection. What a fantastic collaboration from these two companies, Sizzix and Catherine Pooler Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. Please don't forget to subscribe and be notified of future videos. And please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. I had so much fun with you in the craft room today. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.